What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. As always, I'm King Pelican. Before we move forward, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and go follow me on Twitch. Leave it right there on the bottom for you. King Pelican, both on here and on Twitch. Thank you so much. So if you're here, you're probably here for one of two reasons. One, you're here for Italian Greyhounds. Or two, you're here for the outrageously bold title of this video. And you're here to hear my argument. Or you're gonna leave something in the comments that's telling me why I'm wrong. So why is Stardew Valley the greatest game of all time? A couple days ago, my girlfriend told me that I should start playing Stardew Valley. Now, I've known this game has existed for a very long time. I've had friends that have been playing for years. I also watch plenty of people on Twitch and on YouTube stream it and post episodes all the time, and I always thought it was just a farming simulator. I never really thought too much of it. Walking in on the ground floor of this game, I look at it as a happy combination of Minecraft and Animal Crossing. You can decorate, you can customize, you can make friends, you can craft, and obviously, you can farm. I'm not saying that Stardew Valley is the best of both of those games combined into one. The three are definitely very different games. They all have very strong similarities, but each have their own unique backbone. So let me give you the real reason as to why I believe that this is the best game ever made. It's for a reason that probably no one really expects. In any game that I have ever played, I have never found a game that draws more parallels to real life ever. There are so many factors in that game that can be drawn back to reality. So let's peel this back a little bit and really get down into it. Let's talk about what Stardew Valley is, and then you can understand why I've made such an outrageous claim. So without further ado, let's get into it. Stardew Valley begins with you working in a large corporation, eventually getting tired and burnt out of your everyday life working in a cubicle. So you decide to leave your job and move to an abandoned farm that you inherited from your grandfather in a place known as Stardew Valley. You get to name your character, you get to name your farm, you get to name your favorite thing. You arrive at your farm with little other direction than a few NPCs that tell you they own shops in the local town. You're handed some basic tools and are told good luck. So that's it, right? You're just handed some tools, given a rundown farm, and you slowly pull the resources from the land, sell them, and upgrade your farm. Oh, that is so far from the truth. I too was once a naive Stardew Valley player. All joking aside, here is where we start to see some of those realistic tie-ins. The first one we already hit. How many times in your life have you ever felt overwhelmed and you want a change of pace? Half the time that's why some of us go on vacation in the first place, so that we can get a break from reality. That is literally what this game leads off with. It leads off with, oh man, are you tired of your regular job that you do day in and day out? Are you looking for an escape, for a way out? Oh, what's this? It's a farm. An entire empty farm for you to start your whole life over with. Now don't get me wrong, that is not the realistic part of it. Not everybody gets an abandoned farm that they can just escape to and start a new life. That is not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that this game understands that people get tired. And that's okay. It is okay to be tired of routine and to change things up. Stimulate your everyday life with something new. So you're left to attend to your farm, and the first thing you start to do is probably chop down trees, maybe till some land to put some crops in. You're given some seeds to kind of get things going, get some momentum. First thing you realize, it costs tremendous amounts of energy to do very simple things. You get tired almost immediately, and the energy bar that you have in the bottom right of your screen begins to deplete very quickly. I had only chopped down about a half dozen trees before I realized that my energy bar was dangerously low. If you let your energy bar drop all the way to 0, you will pass out, lose some money and resources, and you'll start over again. The mechanic in this game that works in parallel to this is the time. You wake up every morning at 6 a.m., and you can't work any time past about 1 a.m. Otherwise, the same thing happens. Come here, do you want to come up? Come here, come up, good boy. The most noticeable part of this game mechanic is how quickly the time passes. It usually takes about 10 to 12 seconds for 10 minutes to pass in the game. If you dedicate yourself to any one task, depending on what it is or where you're doing it, you'll find that most of the day has gone by the time you finish, or if you finish at all. So what does this tell us? Does it tell us time flies when you're having fun? It definitely doesn't. The days are insanely quick in Stardew Valley, and you really have to know what you're going to do for that day if you're going to get anything done, especially in the beginning of the game. What this tells us is that time and energy are finite and invaluable resources, and you have to be very smart about what you're going to do with them. Are you going to focus on your farmland? Are you going to cultivate your crops? Are you going to make sure that everything is tended to? Because if you don't, those crops are going to die. Are you going to go mine for resources? Are you going to go finish that one random side mission that's on the other side of town, but it's probably going to take you all day? More times than not, you can't do them all in a single day. You'll run out of time and end up losing more than you gain. Stardew Valley life lesson number 2. Your time and your energy are finite resources, and you have to prioritize what you're going to do every day in order to progress. You can't just put everything that you have to do for that day on a list and then just slowly chip away at it. You have to actively prioritize what you're going to do for that day. What's most important? And then there's the money. You don't start this game with a tremendous amount of cash in your pocket. And the only way to get more money in your pocket is to either sell resources or by finishing quests. So you have to make some pretty important decisions as to where you're going to spend your money. Now, this isn't the case for the entire game. Eventually, you build your farm up and can start to farm resources that you can consistently sell no matter what season it is in the game. There are plenty of upgrades available for your tools, your farm, and your character, all of which cost a decent amount of money. So even though you might be walking around with a little bit more jingle in your pocket, you'll quickly find your funds dropping back to near 0. So obviously, time and energy being fleeting resources, money is no different. It teaches us that we have to be financially responsible, and we can't spend our money frivolously. Granted, it's obviously a lot more fun to learn how to budget with an imaginary farm than it is with real life resources. But the lesson is the same. You can't spend all your money on nonsense things and expect to have the money to pay for things like your bills and anything else that might come in between. So I know that this is not a brand new game, and to claim that it is the best game ever made, to some people might spit in the face of some of the truly amazing games that have been made over the years. But interpretation is a very important thing here. I don't believe Stardew Valley is the best game ever made because of its graphics. I think that its pixelated design is very cute and fun to be involved with, especially when there are a lot of new games out there that are so realistic and look so amazing. And I enjoy those too. Do I think it's the greatest game because it has a super intricate list of game mechanics? Also, no. When you break this game down to its basic pieces, there really isn't a huge amount that makes it tick. That's part of why it's so charming. It's so simple. It is great because it is not made up of too many parts. Which really brings us to life lesson number 3. This game starts with your character basically having their life sapped from them from a non-stop job and finding an escape by starting a new life on a farm. the lesson here is not that you need an escape. I like to believe that the lesson here is build a life that you never need to escape from. So there you have it. Those are the reasons why I believe Stardew Valley is the greatest game ever made. Probably not for the reasons that you expected. So that about wraps things up over here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for some more content. Go and follow me on Twitch. I'm streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I am and always will be King Pelican. I'll see you all in the next one.